Hi all, and welcome to this week's bite size on elaborative interrogation. So this allows us to not only hand some ownership of learning over to our students, but also allows us to increase the levels of oracy within the classroom as well, and is a discussion-based element within our lessons. So the steps for the strategy are as follows. So initially we model how to generate questions. So we model that process of elaborative interrogation as explicitly as possible, especially showing how different question stems get different responses. So for example, how does would give us explanations of process, why did would give us explorations of reasoning, and what happens if might give us explorations of different variables and their effects. From here then we look at some paired elaborative interrogation. So we will allocate the students to quiz each other in pairs, a little bit like our peer supported retrieval. And as before, it might be that the person who's asking the questions is using a question matrix to help them generate those questions in the first place. However, the really important part of it is that any response should be expansive and not just one word. So encouraging the use of open questions as opposed to closed questions is really important to make sure that the discussion elements of this strategy actually come out within the conversations that the students then have. It might be that we also get them to engage in some individual elaborative interrogation. So it might be that we're setting some time aside for the students to reflect on and test their own knowledge, so they can generate their own questions and answer them themselves. Obviously, our role within this would be to make sure that that is followed up and shared across the room. Essentially, it makes students accountable for the quality of not just their questions, but also for the quality of their responses as well. The fourth stage of it then is to check for accuracy. So we need to ensure that the students in pairs are providing that corrective feedback to their partners, that they may be using a resource to ensure that feedback is accurate. So that could be some success criteria, it could be a modelled response that's been shared previously. Here though, where they might be working individually, again it might be that they are making sure by checking their responses with their notes, or again any other sources, to make sure that their recall is as accurate as possible. Finally then, we need to consolidate it, and it might be that we consolidate with quizzing or other assessments. You know, as essentially this technique, if it's just students in pairs discussing with each other, this technique is largely hidden from us as teachers, so it's important to provide further opportunities for students to demonstrate the results in some other form of assessment. I think then when we're thinking about assessment preparation, elaborative interrogation can therefore be quite a useful strategy in terms of preparing students for those assessments in kind of revision lessons or in any kind of intervention sessions that we're running as well as making it part of kind of like their daily diet within the classroom. As ever then, good luck putting it into practice, and if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thanks so much.